Words matter. We hear that all the time, and it's absolutely true. In school, we write endless amounts of essays where we learn to choose our words carefully. We learn words in foreign languages so we can communicate outside the country. And frankly, I've spent way too much time obsessing over the words in this TEDx speech. But what I've increasingly realized is that there's so much more to communication than the words you choose. I have these little cousins that live in Germany. I don't get to see them very often because they live far away. The oldest one, Annie, is age 9, the middle one, Helen, is age 6, and the youngest one, Henry, is age 4. Whenever we visited them, I always noticed that they seemed to gravitate towards my older sisters more than they did to me. At first, I thought this was because my sister spoke better German than I did. But it turns out it wasn't what I was saying, it was how I was saying it. I was so concerned about not saying the right words that I wasn't building a connection with them. Based on this experience, I started to think about what we convey without even realizing it. People don't think about it, but your nonverbal gestures can change or add meaning to the things you're trying to say. For example, according to helpguide.org, your gestures, posture, and how much eye contact you make can put people at ease, build trust, and help people gravitate towards you. However, these can also have the opposite effects. Your nonverbal signals can offend, confuse, or undermine the points that you're trying to get across. Communicating through language is certainly easier than communicating without it. However, when it comes to forming connections, body language, eye contact, and facial expressions will go a long way. According to an interesting research paper written by Angelika Kalask from the University of Lodz in Poland, when it comes to communicating in foreign languages, we rely heavily on body language. A native speaker can better understand the intent of a non-native speaker through nonverbal signals like a smile, a wave hello, crossing your arms, or rolling your eyes. So the next time you're in a foreign country and you accidentally tell someone their outfit stinks like a cow, make sure to tell them it with a smile so they know you didn't intend to insult them. Based on my research and experiment, I decided to see how much of an impact nonverbal communication could actually make. Ms. Chiquino, our drama teacher, very kindly let me experiment with her drama class. This is fascinating and highly entertaining as well. I went into her class and played a game of charades. When I went into her class, I broke the class into groups and gave each group a phrase to communicate ranging from easy to hard. The phrases all went around the theme of things you may need to communicate while traveling in a foreign country. Not surprisingly, the easier phrases the class was able to guess relatively quickly, and some of the harder ones they couldn't guess. For example, one of the phrases was, "I need the police." This one was especially entertaining because the person used a series of mimes ranging from lying on the ground to begging for help. But it was the panicked look on the person's face that told the class he was trying to communicate an emergency. For another example was, "Let's meet for coffee at 5." Frankly, I didn't think the class was going to be able to get this one. But from the mixture of smiles and gestures, the class is able to guess the person is trying to do something social. The person smiled, pointed their wrist, and pretended to drink coffee until the class got it. Based on my research and experiment, I learned a lot about what gets conveyed nonverbally. I've also stopped stressing about impressing my cousins with my German vocabulary. I learned that the best moments I had had with my cousins was when I showed interest in games that they enjoyed, like hide and seek, teaching them how to color, and playing with Legos. They could tell from my smiles and gestures how much I cared about them, and that is more impactful than any words I could have said to them. I still think that words matter a lot in our society today, and I will keep on learning German to communicate with my family. However, I have a new approach when it comes to communicating in general. Whether I'm talking to friends, family, or someday delivering an impactful TED Talk, I will always keep in mind how much of an impact nonverbal communication can make. Thank you.